I'm Elijah Sobel.
My name is Adam Hamill.
My name's Christina.
My name's Eamon Kelly.
My name's Chad Fillion.
I'm Ian Dowling.
And I'm Marlena Renton, the other half.
I own North Country Kayak.
I'm the owner of Exile Burrito.
I own Super Secret Ice Cream Club.
I'm a purchasing manager, operations manager at White Mountain Lumber.
I own Flu Media here in Lancaster.
What do you do, babe?
I brew beer
And own the company.
and own the company.
And I do a little bit of everything, and I'm kind of the holder of the design, and marketing's kind of supposed to be my main job, but
She's the queen of reckless.
oh, stop.
I think one of the biggest impacts from the pandemic was probably the closure that happened regionally. With everything closed around us, it was hard. The big impact was the shutting of the doors. There was a lot of lost businesses, a lot of resources that came out through grants and funding, which helped. But that can only go so far. You need that lifeblood, because when those grants are gone, if you don't have clients to sustain your business, then you're going to have to continue to find new ways to bring that business in.
The greatest impact on our business in result of the pandemic, I would say, stress. I think from a negative point of view, just not knowing what's around the next corner every month, especially the first year, what our seatings, what the restrictions were going to be like, if people were going to come, if they weren't going to come, what was winter going to be like. For us, the most negative was probably having to close when people got sick.
The thing that we ran into as a new company wasn't employees. We had great employees. We do have a community that wants to work, and the problem I have faced was food costs going through the roof.
I mean, people engaged in panic buying, which happens. We all know how it is before a snowstorm, and this was the mother of all snowstorms.
Did have a few hurdles to jump through during the process. Just having people trust the ability to even come up to New England after the lockdown, because a lot of the business that we have, I would say 90% of it is from tourism. So myself, I was nervous about people just even wanting to travel at all.
There's never been a time to reset. There's never been a time to look at what the new normal is and adjust to it, to improve systems that need to be improved. So we've been dealing with the same legacy stuff. There's just no time for us to, take the equipment down for a week. And now with constant inflation, or we're seeing constant inflation in the building market, every week is spent looking at price changes and data and trying to update stuff to keep us current. There's just been no time for us to do the things that we need to do to improve the experience of our existing customers. I think that we're hoping that we can get some breathing room to try to be able to do that, but the workforce is maxed out. There's no one out there for us to get to take over some, to help with that demand. And it's very difficult to replace anybody who decides to leave or to retire this time. So
in the last year, we've struggled. My husband started working home full time. The divorce is pending. But I needed something to do. I couldn't just sit and watch TV all day, so we started making flags, and people took to them. People want them.
I think it's been difficult in regard to being able to plan as well.
Yeah.
Our business was only 2 years old when the pandemic hit.
2.5.
And we've been growing exponentially since then, and then COVID hit. So now we have absolutely no way of forecasting any numbers for the next several years. It's just sort of, we're guessing.
Because we're a new business, allies, assets, and resources have been really important. And when I initially launched the business, being a new business owner, I didn't really even think about that. My mindset was I can do this all on my own, I have a go-getter attitude, and I'm not gonna take out a business loan. I wanna do this thing on my own time, my own money. And quickly I realized that probably wasn't gonna be possible.
Put the pandemic aside, somebody that gambled my livelihood on Berlin because I believe in this city. Like, I'm here because I see the potential.
I mean, I wouldn't be anywhere if I didn't have milk and cream. Like, I wouldn't if I didn't have like the local ingredients I use, because that's one of the biggest values to Super Secret ice cream. And what sets us apart is we're not buying a mix from a random farm someplace in the Midwest or wherever. We're making and mixing our own ice cream base, as it's called. And so without Hatchland Farm and some other of the small producers that I work with, I don't think I would have a concept for what I want to do. I don't know. It would have to just be something completely different. I've lived here for like 6 or 7 years, and I think I've created a really wonderful community. And we're all just so close knit, and so all the businesses and people in this area have just been huge.
Throughout the pandemic, the state was very good at supporting, and the government with extra funds. So we were able to use all that money to keep people paid when we had to close down.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a positive.
I think that to recover and build resiliency in the region, you need quite a few things. I actually really think it starts at the ground level with the businesses that are already here. The established main streets and kind of places where people frequent is what we have. That's like our framework of business here in the North Country right now. And so I think it's going to take like those businesses and those main streets and those kind of pulses of the region to support more business to kind of move on up.
All my unemployment went, so every week I got a check. We went and bought supplies. We were happy that Home Depot was considered essential because we spent all our money there. And then when we rolled it out, I was able to pay myself back. Tin Can was able to pay my household back in like 8 weeks.
I've been making soap for my family for like 8 years. I just put a post out there and said, does anybody want this for Christmas time for gifts? And the orders just started coming in from friends and family. And then Claire, down at the bookshop, we've known her for years. She was on that first post. If you put a label on that, I'll sell it at my shop for you. And then when Paige started up, she was like trying to fill up her shop, so I reached out to her, and then she helps me. So it's like awesome. Exactly what you were saying with the community of it.
I think in order for us to continue to recover and build more resiliency throughout the region, we got to look to the other areas that are successful in the large metro and try to bring it down on a rural level. You don't have to be in Boston to build Boston level stuff. You don't have to be in LA to produce LA level video or movie. A lot of that comes from education and imagination. It's okay to really push the limits and push the boundaries.
Resilience to me is making myself accessible to the community, and the community returns that 100-fold.
Starting with kind of community resiliency and being a place that supports small businesses, whether that's networking, that's an inflow of tourism that generates money towards the business, or locals that are excited about your business and will frequent your business.
I think with economic resiliency, I think a lot of it has to do with partnerships that are brought up between different businesses and creating this community and the community at large beyond that. Businesses can't exist in a silo. They have to work together. And especially with COVID, there was a lot of people that were looking for ways to reach out to the community that they couldn't meet firsthand.
I think I've succeeded so far because I volunteer within the community. I have friends and community members, and so when I started my business, I knew that was going to be a huge part of my business plan, and so I lean on a lot of different people in the community for help and support. I try to source as much as I can for my business in the area. I work with a lot of local farmers, and then also if I'm seeking out advice for merchandising or marketing or other things, it's who nearby can help me versus, you know, going on the internet and finding someone far away.
And if you take it back one more time to our employees, and we'll always revert back to the people that work for us, they were solid through the pandemic. Like, just unbelievable.
Yeah, every time we had to make a decision, they were there, and a lot of them is just they believed in their community and they wanted to see this survive, and so yeah, we're the reckless family. You go through all that stuff with with your team, you're a family, so.